Hello, lads and ladies, and welcome back. Sunday night means one thing, League One live, and you'll be happy to know we're all on our own tonight. No Jake, he's hiding from all the Birmingham fans. That's what it is, I believe, as well. So we are on our own tonight. So, looking forward to going through League One with you this evening as well. Sorry for the couple of minutes of delay. Let's come to the chat as well. If you could like and subscribe on your way in as well. And let me know if you can see and hear me okay in the chat down below. I don't know. I've not seen him. Genuinely, I haven't seen him. So, Jake, if you can pop the stream, please. Oh, here he is.
Oh.
Hello, mate.
What do you mean, right? Hello, mate? You never sent me anything, you plonker.
Mate, I sent you the link, right? And you must have not got it because I sent it at 7:30 today. My chair's fallen to bits.
When did you send it? 7:30?
Yeah.
Mate, I've literally got it through just now.
Fair play. Right. Imps are washed. Can I just say, by the way, do you know the speed camera in Bristol could be 1 point behind the Imps come the weekend?
Yeah, probably won't be.
Well, it could be. Yeah, drop a like on your way in as well. It would be appreciated. The main man is here. Get in. Yeah. We'll come to the Huddersfield sacking very soon as well. Hello, Luke. Hi, May. You okay? Hello, Jake.
Well, mate, not all of us get to spend £30 million to win the league, but there you are.
Well, we're going to come to that. We are going to come to that because
we will come to the penalty. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've got points to prove. And I've got some good points in the Lincoln game. How was your weekend, mate?
It was good, mate. It was okay. It was how do I say? It was okay, mate. Yeah, apart from the shambles yesterday that was attempting to go to the second city, it was pretty good, mate. You've never got to play Birmingham in a league game, so I wouldn't expect you to understand. But it's just absolutely chaotic. We went on the coach and they shut the road too early. We had to they made us drop us. I don't know. Look, it was a pretty hectic day yesterday. But no, mate, I'm all good. More chilled out Sunday.
We are 14 subscribers away from 16.6k. So if you could subscribe, that'd be a lot. Let's see if we can do it in this stream as well. So subscribe and like as well. It does genuinely help. Yeah, yesterday, I'll be honest with you, I'm very disappointed. I felt that in the last five games, we should have won 4 and lost 1. We've won 1, drawn 3, and lost 1. And that's the difference. I genuinely feel on terms of performances and positions that we've been in, Fleetwood should be inside the top 7, top 8. Especially since Pete Wild came into the football club. So, yeah, we are slowly getting better now.
What happened to the fist pumps? Did we have no fist pumps?
We've not had any Skibala fist pumps for a while, have we?
Tuesday night, mate.
Tuesday night, yeah. And you were bum licking him on Tuesday night, weren't you?
Tuesday night. No, but my question is, did Fleetwood Town do the ABCs? That's my question.
They did the non-negotiables. And we did the ABCs. He said tenacious yesterday. I was so proud of him. So let us know some questions as well. Get like in the stream as well. I've actually put a lot of prep in. I got up at 6 o'clock this morning, 20 mile in the tank, and straight home for 10, 11 o'clock. Did some prep, and I actually probably watched, I'd say 8 to 9, 10, 11 minute highlights, and the other ones was just a quick 2 or 3 minute highlight jobby, the lesser games as well. But don't worry, Jake's watched the full 90 minutes of every game, I believe, as well, since Lincoln kicked off. He's slept since in the 27 hours. He immediately, but I genuinely, he put Charlton, Stockport on full extended highlights on the way out.
Yeah, no, Sam Commons was sat next to on the coach can vouch for that.
Yeah, right. We're going to go to Barnsley 0, Blackpool 3. Blackpool's Albie Morgan has now been directly involved in 9 goals across his last 12 league games for the Seasiders. 2 goals, 7 assists. More goal involvements in his last 48 appearances for the Seasiders. Barnsley have now lost each of their last 3 home league games against Blackpool. And Blackpool's 28th point of the season means they've racked up 58% of their points tally away from home. A totally different story from last term, where they couldn't win away for love no money. Blackpool have just won in the last 7 league away games, winning 3, drawing 3, conceding multiple games in just 1 match across that time. Now, Barnsley, flaky, pathetic. We'll come to the performance because this is one of the games that I genuinely watch and had so many notes for. Barnsley just won 3 of their Saturday 12 home games this year as well. 12. On a Saturday, they've won 3. Although they did win 4-3 recently against Lincoln City. Have to get that in. Yesterday, when I say this now, in the first half, Blackpool should have been 5-0 up. Fletcher should have scored. Sonny Carey had chances. Niall Ennis had chances. Blackpool were brilliant. They caused Barnsley nothing but trouble. They were fast. They were energetic. They moved the ball side to side very quickly. Got the balls into the front man very well as well. And in the second half, it was a magic display. Actually, Fletcher scored against his old club. Sonny Carey scored from distance. Look, the 3 goals that Barnsley conceded, should the goalkeeper save the first one? I think he should, but it's hit from range with power and real accuracy into the far corner. The second goal is really, really poor. And the third goal is defenders all over the place. Now, this Barnsley side, let's be honest about it. People put Barnsley, they should be doing better because of their football club size. But who Barnsley are in that squad yesterday, for me, there's not enough quality. They have now lost, I think, 14 games in the division. They've only won 1 more with 15 games won. I generally don't think this is a very good squad. Smith made some good saves yesterday. McCarthy is bog standard for me. For me, the only players I really see is quality. Keeler Dunn, I think he has got moments in him. Humphries is standard League One. Russell is hit and miss for me. He's either a 7 or an 8 or a 5. Probably one of Barnsley's better displays after from the bits I saw yesterday. Luca Connell deserves credit for what he's done in the last couple of years as well. Roberts came out and said how it is after the game. For me, there's probably 2 or 3 in that squad good enough to go to the next level. This is Barnsley because they sold all the best players and not recruited properly. They don't have proper forward area players. And it's really poor. On Blackpool, I genuinely believe next season they can attack this division. Look, Barnsley are 4 points better off than Blackpool. We're saying Blackpool went to Barnsley and easily won the game. Blackpool have drawn 15 games this year. If they just turn 5 of those draws into victories, they're on 58 points and the same amount of points as Huddersfield. So for me, Blackpool aren't far away. They've just got to be that bit more ruthless. Yesterday, when I say this now, Blackpool could have had 10. They had 8 shots on target. They were brilliant from start to finish. For me, I've watched Blackpool on 9 or 10 occasions, full games or kind of really extended highlights. That's one of the best displays I've seen from the Seaside is, this season. I thought Steve Bruce's side were fantastic from minute 1.
Oh, that's when you're bringing me in, Ben. I apologise. I didn't realise. I feel like you got a different energy about you tonight, Ben. Maybe it's because you were talking about Blackpool. As
I've done my prep.
Hey, you done your prep? Yeah, well, makes a change, doesn't it? Yeah, no, good win for Blackpool.
Makes a change. Can I just see your notes in front of you, please?
Hey?
Your notes in front of you.
My notes are on my computer, mate.
Are they on BBC Sport?
No. How dare you accuse me of using such a mediocre news source such as BBC Sport? I use SofaScore, my friend. Thank you.
Yeah.
I completely agree with you, Ben. Blackpool, I mean, I said when they came into the Central Bank and played us off the park, they were a good side then. They just got pace. And Barnsley, what I found last week is they just lack pace as much as we did. And it's not hard. So that when Blackpool got the quick players on the pitch, the likes of Sonny Carey, the likes of Albie Morgan, Rob Apter, CJ Hamilton, etc. It was an emphatic win for them. And they had chances, like you say, Ben. It's ridiculous how many chances the Blackpool team make, and maybe that's why they've often found themselves drawing more games than they've won, because they create so many chances. They've not really had that talisman to finish them off. Whereas last year, they had someone like Jordan Rhodes who was banging the goals in. This year, Ashley Fletcher's not been a huge source of goals. Carl Joseph obviously left.
I think he's been better than the expected from Ashley Fletcher, to be fair. I think that he's got better.
Yeah, I think so, but he's not quite.
8 goals this year.
Yeah, but in terms of the amount of chances.
He's Blackpool's top goal scorer,
Yeah, but in terms of chances that he's actually had I think he misses more than he scores.
He does, but I think that you could say that for a lot of strikers that are wasteful. 1 in 3. For me, Fletcher, I think he's had a good season. He's only started something like 26 games in the last 4 years. He needs to find a home. And he's getting better as games go on, I think, Fletcher. When you look at him now, he's got 3 in his last 5 games. He's slowly building something.
Yeah, but regardless, Ben, this was a good win. Barnsley just didn't look like they wanted the end of the season. They didn't show up whatsoever. Particularly poor at home. Not sure what that is, whether it's the expectation, whether it's whether it's the group of players. I think like it's been said in the chat, I think Davis Keeler-Dunn's probably arguably been their best player all season. Barnsley fans were promised a bigger budget this year, and well, they've not had it. Should Clark get the sack? I think that's a really good question. I think it's a really good question. I would probably say no. I would say probably not, because I think he's had the rug pulled from under his feet a little bit. I think when he went in, I think he would have been promised a decent sized budget, a real opportunity for them to get into the top 6. But as it sort of stemmed, it's not worked out that way for them. And this was the biggest sort of caveat when they appointed him. Really good manager, went into Cheltenham, made a really big instant impact last year, but then you've never really seen him at the top end of this league try and get a team promoted, and that lack of experience maybe has cost him. You know, he's really honest with the fans and in post-match interviews, and I like that. But he sometimes he gets it so wrong on the pitch that it leaves Barnsley fans wondering what on earth he's doing or what he's trying to do. This team, you know, I watched them the other week. They don't have a style of play. They don't pass through the thirds. They don't just lump it long. They have no identity under Darrell Clark, and that's a real concern for me. And going forward, my argument to be why he shouldn't be sacked, Ben, is that Barnsley need consistency. Too often they've chopped and changed, and when you're bringing in new manager all the time, you've got players on long contracts or have been there for a long time and still under contract. You've then got a mashup of everyone's players, and that doesn't do the club. Look at Man United, for example. Think how many managers they've had since Fergie left. You know, Van Gaal brought players in, Moyes brought players in, Mourinho brought players in. Someone like Erik ten Hag had to deal with, you know, all of those different style of players. So, yeah, no, it's tough. I don't think they should sack him, personally.
But for me, I absolutely don't think they should. Barnsley fans want instant success because that's what Duff did. You know, that's what Stendhal Ishmael did as well, and I get it. They had better teams. They have better teams, and it's simple as that. For me, this Barnsley side has got a bit of quality in it. There's no firepower. There's no one that you think going to go and score lots of goals. They lost to Van Cole, who, as much as I don't like him, he scored 18 goals last year. Granted, a lot of them were in the first half of the season, but for me, very, very poor, this squad. For me, and I think I put Barnsley at the start of the year 10th. Barnsley are currently 10th in the division. They're not any better. For me, Darrell Clark I don't think he's the man to take them forward long term. I think that he'll need, and if he does, I don't think he's a long term that he's going to go and play breathtaking football and blow you away and have a clear identity, but he'll get results. Honest, hard working, but he needs foundations. There's been 12 managerial changes this year, Jake. It's a joke that managers don't get time. And you look at Wrexham, Stockport, who have been backed, been there a while. Nathan Jones has been there for a year. You know, you look at Richie Wellens is Leyton on. Yes, they've fallen apart recently, or where they want to be because they are a solid opposition and the manager's been in place a long time. Cloughie at Mansfield, the same, started so well. He knows the football club. He knows you can't keep changing managers. And this Barnsley team stink. It really stinks. The attitude stinks. I'd been a lot of them off for me. The business in January was appalling, quite frankly. I think the owners haven't really gone for it. And year on year, they've lost a player or two big players, and they've replaced them with poor loanees. You know, for me, think about the squad that lost to Wednesday in the playoffs. That was a good squad that was, you thought, the back three was as good as anybody in the division at that time as well. So for me, absolutely not. I don't think you could employ Guardiola, Jurgen Klopp, on Slot, whoever you want to do, and they won't get a string out of this Barnsley team because I think it stinks the gaff out. It really does. Talk about stinking the gaff out. We're going to go to Bolton Wanderers, who isn't stinking the gaff out. It's Steven Schumacher, the old manager before that did, though, didn't he? Burton Albion 1, Bolton 2. No John Daddy Badfarson for the last few. They haven't won. Massive loss in Burton's colours. 6 points adrift now. Bolton claiming a double over the Brewers for the first time in Football League history. That is harsh now, because Burton used to have a really good record against Bolton. They were unbeaten in the first 6. Now they've not won in 6. Look, they've been since Gary Bowyer came into the football club, they've been a solid side. In 2025, I think they're in the side of the top 6, top 8 for points won, which has been really good. But they were 9 points adrift, and now 6 points adrift. And it just shows you that the teams get a few results. Exeter have won a couple of lately. Northampton have been in great form. Peterborough have been in good form. They've just pulled themselves away. It's a big ask now for Burton, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. You mentioned there that they've got the most points, but Gary Bowyer's just brought them in and basically just got them back to their ABCs, isn't he?
What a guy.
Commons is a great bloke.
Have you spoke to Kershaw?
No. I just watched Pete Wild. I just watched Pete Wild after yesterday's crushing draw with Port Vale.
He never said ABCs once.
No, he did. I watched him.
He didn't, because I just watched his interview about 5 minutes ago before coming on.
Look, Ben, the point you asked me about Burton, not about Pete Wild. Yeah. It is a tough ask, isn't it? Certainly because Bristol Rovers have that game in hand above them in the league table. But yesterday, I was spoken to David, obviously, about it. He seemed to think that maybe Burton warranted a point out of this game, having watched it. I think that's pretty far-fetched. I know they had a couple of really good chances, but Bolton, under Steven Schumacher, are just so good defensively as well. And going forward, they've added that real bit of spark, haven't they? I mean, yesterday it was the midfielders that got the goal. Morley and Sheehan. Gabson is the go. For Burton, I don't know. I am worried a little bit. I think some of them are resigned to going down. They have that little bit of hope under them.
We haven't got matching T-shirts, by the way.
We haven't, no. No, mine is...
Mine's a bit big, to be fair.
Mine's True Religion, if you've heard of it.
No.
But yeah, no, I am a little bit concerned for Burton. Obviously, they've still got a lot of the top 8 to play, haven't they, between now and the end of the year. They've got 4 games. I think Shrewsbury next week is absolutely massive for them if they're going to kickstart anything. But they just need to try and put it beyond them, don't they? John Daddy Budvarsson was a big miss this weekend. He's been a real source of goals since coming in, and they've had to sort of play makeshift centre forwards. JJ, I know, has had a go up there. The lad from Forest, Larson, I think his name is. He's had a go up there and proved pretty useless. Roman Burrell isn't as good without that target man style centre forward, and I think it showed yesterday because there's no one flicking the ball onto him at the minute. He's just chasing and running channels, and that's not particularly what he's good at. So. Yeah, I am concerned for Burton. The current bottom 4 look like the 4 that might well go down. But we can't say that Gary Bowyer's not coming and giving it a whirl, at least. It's just that first part of the season, isn't it? And that part where which makes it half a year, where they didn't appoint a manager. If they'd appointed
last year.
If Gary Bowyer had come in probably 6 weeks before, then I think we're seeing this Burton team probably where Northampton and Exeter are now. But
Gary Bowyer's style as well needs John Daddy Badfarson. He does. Yeah, he's missing that. That's why they were doing so well. Not because John Daddy's a very good player, which he is, by the way. They miss him because of the style they are. On Bolton Wanderers, I think that we have to mention them. After a stat that I kind of went through as well, Bolton are now unbeaten in their last 5 league games, playing on a Saturday, winning 4, drawing 1, scoring 9 goals across that time. Bolton now have collected 22 points across their last 9 League One matches after departing Ian Evatt of his duties. 7 wins, 1 draw, 1 defeat. That's more points than their previous 17 games combined, where they mustered just 21 points. There's been an impact. There's a style of play there. as well. It was a Sweeney show, wasn't it, yesterday? From watching it back as well. He obviously scored the dubious goal. Then yesterday he blocked one off the line. Then he blocked him, and it came to Sheehan, and Sheehan scored. So he was pretty much involved with everything, really. As Ryan's winning for Bolton, it's a terrific performance for them inside those playoff places now. I'm really starting to believe those 5 wins in the last 6, where Huddersfield have only picked up 6 points. Charlton Athletic have picked up 13 points. Those are the 2 hot form teams, both on 60 points now. They are 8 points away from Wycombe Wanderers. Dare to dream with 33 points left to go. Do you still believe, Jake?
Oh, yes. I am in the Bolton Wanderers to get second basket. I well and truly am. Bolton have timed their run absolutely immaculately because they've got 11 games left, but I can easily see them picking up the points required. I mean, I know I had a conversation with Gab the other week about, are they going to gain 10 points on Wycombe Wanderers? Well, the gap's down already, and they've got Wycombe Wanderers to play. I know they've still got Wrexham. No, they haven't. They've got Stockport still to play, haven't they, as well? I'm in and amongst it. I think Bolton were outstanding yesterday. Great finish from Morley. Helps that Dokes Goblin Malife just slips over and helps him out. And then Josh Sheehan as well. A real tenacious midfield. Those two. A real fantastic midfield duet. What? You're looking at me like I've done something wrong. I'll ignore you because that's probably best, isn't it? Yeah, no, a little bit of fortune about the second goal that it falls straight to Josh Sheehan, but it's a lovely strike, and he probably only scores that probably 1 in 10 attempts, to be fair. But yeah, no,
1 in 50 I'd go. 1 in 50 I'd go. It's such a good strike when Sheehan's on Bolton and Mustard.
Yeah, they're good. They're good. And the Schumacher, and he's come in and he's made some slight changes. Nothing major. I would say that Bolton play not too dissimilar to what they were under Primey and Everett when they were fantastic at pinging the ball around, suffocating teams. They've gone back to that version of Bolton. And what I think the most thing and the highest compliment that I could pay Schumacher is that he's just gone in and instilled confidence in this group automatically. You could tell sometimes during games that they were playing with the confidence absolutely shattered. They'd come out, they'd play poorly. The manager would slag them all off in the post-match, and then the cycle would just completely turn around again. Schumacher has come in, put his arm around their shoulder, and all of a sudden this group of players that we thought were top 2, top 3 worthy are playing like they are top 2, 3 worthy. And they timed their run expertly.
I'm not going to I don't want to stereotype, and I don't mean this, but do you think it's a Scouse thing that, look, not a great example, but when Joey Barton was at Fleetwood, the way he speaks and the way he thingy, him, Schumacher, Ryan Lowe, because they're so infected and so passionate, you can sit up and listen a little bit. Do you get what I mean? Whereas Gary Bellew, don't get me wrong, wouldn't be the very much like sparky man that gets you up and drives you. Do you know what I mean? Where you kind of, with Gary Bellew, is very like this, but he gets results in different ways. Do you know what I mean? Whereas Schumacher for Bolton is perfect because they rely on being fast and at it and energetic and being front footed, which he weren't. And that's where Bolton lost their identity because they had no energy, they had no spark, it was almost like the fireworks had gone. Do you know what I mean? Like I said with Ian at Bolton, when you're not seeing fireworks in a relationship anymore, and you think, "Wow, there's nothing there for me." That's what it felt like a little bit.
Sounds to me like you need to move. Sounds like you need to move your Tinder to Liverpool, mate.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, although I'm not on that app anymore. Unlike you, it was. I like Schumacher. I sit up and I listen to him. Look, there's a long way to go for this team. There's still games to play. Everybody will be fearing Bolton now. It's a good performance for them. Look, it's 3 points closer to where they want to get to. Big win against a side that's scrapping for their lives as well. But
do you think they do it, Ben? Just out of
curiosity. I hope they go up through Wembley and end that curse of last year, because this year feels like a free hit for Bolton Wanderers. It really does. It feels like Everybody wrote them off. Everybody wrote the season off. They go up this year. I don't want to say this because there's always pressure when you're at Bolton Wanderers. Massive football club, big crowds, good football club, well backed, good budget, good players, good manager there now. And even if it was a good manager for 4 years, I'm not going to criticise it, but I think a perfect manager to take them forward. Like Messina took over Crawley, he never's done the hard yards for the Schumacher there to go and finish the job, basically, that he's done before at Plymouth, and they would all love him back one day at that football club, I'm sure. I think they'll go up in some capacity, and if they do go up, I think that they've got the least amount of pressure. If they don't go up this year, it'll be like, oh, because we've done so well on the Schumacher, and now he's got a full year. It'll be top two.
They'll win the league. They'll win the league next year if they're down here. So.
I think that there's so much pressure on them next year, and I think Bolton suit when nobody's talking about them. That Bolton in the first 2 years in League One, nobody really mentioned Bolton. They had the best 2 years. When they were mentioned as favourables, they faded away, and when they got in positions, they didn't bottle it, but they didn't maybe live up to expectations. So yeah, I think in some capacity, Bolton Wanderers will be right where they want to be. There's nearly 200 people. There's 195. Over half of the people who watch these streams are subscribed. We are 8 subscribers away from 16,600. So if you could subscribe and get us there, that'd be appreciated. The big news came out today, Jake, that not that you're leaving the channel at the end of the season. We'll break that news on May the 4th. Bristol Rovers beat Huddersfield Town by 1-0. Huddersfield, this comes since they beat Wycombe Wanderers away from home. And after that game, everybody's mentioned, could Huddersfield go and crash into the top 2? You know, Bloomfield had just left the football club, 11 points in 12 games, winning 3, drawing 2, losing 6. Bristol Rovers, however, with their 13th point in their last 6 home games. After Jake calls it a speed camera, they've won 4, drawn 1, lost 1. So Jake is the reason why he's turned around, not Calderon. They had 15 points in their previous 11 games at the Mem this season as well. About to say hybrid then. Bristol Rovers have won 4 of the last 6, like I mentioned as well. The 1-0 victory against Huddersfield was their first without conceding at home since October. Who did they beat last without conceding, Jake? Who were down there?
Who? Bristol Rovers?
Yeah.
Who did they beat to 0 at home? Oh. Wouldn't have been Crawley. Would it have been Exeter?
It was Shrewsbury.
Yeah.
Shrewsbury. Great victory for them. We'll come on to Huddersfield in a minute. But Bristol Rovers turning a corner, and it was really good. They are still just above the bottom 4. However, 6 points adrift now. However, only 2 points off Mansfield in 16th, or 4 points off Wigan in 15th.
Yeah, game in hand on the bottom 4 as well.
Yeah, Bristol who? Which Bristol are we on about?
Well, it's a good point.
I'm getting better at that. Bristol Rovers!
Yeah, you're getting better, sure.
Go on.
Hey?
Go on.
You want me to do it?
Go on.
Bristol Rovers! You've got to roll the second R. That's what you've got to do. You got to. You're very much
roll.
Right. Yeah, and it was good performance.
Rover.
Rover.
I can't believe what League One Life's come to.
Rover. Yeah. Yeah. We're just trying to distract ourselves. Yeah. It was.
Bristol Rovers.
Bristol Rovers. Yeah. A lot of determination. A lot of fight in this team yesterday. They look like they're playing for a manager that's brought something in. And do you know what, Ben? When they get the Mem going, you've said this countless times, Ben, because you've probably been one of the Memmers has been absolutely rocking. I've never seen us lose there. Just as another dig for Ben Gill, because I know we'll be after one. Yeah,
can't wait until they beat you next week, isn't it?
Weekend, yeah.
At the Mem.
No, it's at the Bank.
Oh,
yeah, they are. Then there's your chance with Bristol Rovers. Yeah, it was a nice goal, wasn't it, from Ruel Satoru? Took it down really well. Goalkeeper helped him out massively by standing not in the middle of his net. But a fantastic strike nonetheless. They worked really hard. Clinton Mola had a particularly good game at left back. I think they're a fantastic. Well, under Calderon, they've like we say, they've found a little bit of an identity. They've got the men. They've been really strong at home since he's come in. They're defensively, whilst they give the odd chance away, they are still, keeping sides out for the most part. In terms of limited chances at home. It's away from home where Bristol Rovers really need to get their act together. I think it's just 4 wins on the road all season. I'm confident in saying
They've lost a lot away from home.
they've lost an awful lot of away games this season. When you've got, you look at the team that played yesterday, Ben, you've got decent players. Wilson was a title winner. Connor Taylor's a decent investment that they've brought in over the years. Matt Butcher's been exceptional since coming in. Isaac Hutchinson was one of the most productive players in the league below last season. It was a good performance. They got the key, obviously, Promises back now from his. He went off after 8 minutes. That's not great.
Yeah, he's just come back and he got injured. Yeah.
Oh no, that's a player that scored at Central Bank last year, didn't it?
700 grand. 700 macaroonies.
Yeah, no,
they come as well.
Hey, you've done something. You've done something. Because I've just had a notification.
Mate, I genuinely haven't.
No, I've had a notification from somebody.
I'm on my notes. What?
Yeah. You've given Kershaw my number, you cheeky sausage.
He's got it anyway.
No, he hasn't.
He had.
I didn't give him it. I gave it
ages ago.
Oh, thanks, Ben. Thanks for giving my number out. You can put it, type in the chat if you want. I'm sure my phone won't stop buzzing.
No girls will ring you, mate.
Yeah, same for you. Yeah, they're good, Ben. Under Calderon, got a bit of an identity. Defensively, I thought they were okay. Limited this Huddersfield team, which is a super team with Joe Taylor, Lass Sorensen, etc. It's not a lot, and it was a good win. It was needed, especially with Burton losing it. It just gives him that little bit of breathing space between themselves and the bottom 4. They were seriously worried. I know Ben was messaging me the other week saying he was seriously worried that they were going to find themselves relegated. But all of a sudden, a little bit of a shift in momentum, and Bristol Rovers are now looking up rather than looking down.
Huddersfield put on at 10:20 this morning that they'd parted company with its manager, Micheal Duff, after just 9 months in charge. Now, frustrating. Look, they started the season poorly, then went on a good run, then slowly went on a bad run again, then went 16 games unbeaten, then lost a few. And then what's followed that 16-game unbeaten run is a disastrous run, a period where they've got 12 points in 11 games. And they've been poor. They have been poor. I watched them with you against Lincoln, at their home stadium. And they were 2-0 down. I thought Lincoln had them on the ropes. That didn't really, although they scored 2 goals and got a point, down to Lincoln basically sitting deeper, making the wrong substitutions and tactically being poor. Let's be honest about it.
Doesn't sound like us, does it?
Yeah, it doesn't sound. And then errors. Let's be honest about it. Key errors. So no, it's 12 points in 11 games. The style hasn't been there. However, a lot of injuries. I believe it's over 30 injuries to different players. I think it's 30 injuries to over 18 or 19 different players. Starman Joe Taylor getting injured. Dion Charles couldn't score a goal as well. That doesn't help you as well. You lose key players. The centre-back, losing him was a massive blow. And then you don't replace. For me, that yes, they signed well in forward areas later on, but for me, that squad was still missing a spark. And I'm not really surprised he'd done it, but I think Duff probably would feel hard done by that. You can't just keep changing managers. And for me, deserves a little bit more time because, look, the 2 months outside the playoffs, the form hasn't been great. But why do clubs keep doing this? Why do clubs keep panicking and think changing managers is a quick way of solution? They just want results impactly. They need to stick by him because I think Huddersfield could be the type of club that gets stuck in League One for 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, no, I agree. Only 4 wins this calendar year, Ben, which is ultimately the reason why they've sacked him. although I can't help but feel like it's a little bit harsh with Michael Duff, because I understand that they're on a poor run of form at the moment, but they won last weekend. They went away to Stevenage and won. They've had, like you say, there's a lot of injuries, a lot of key players that have had key spells out on the touchline. Yes, performance hasn't been great, but I can't remember Michael Duff's Barnsley having particularly too many amazing performances when he got them to the playoff final. I know they lost that, which was disappointing for them. But yeah, I think it's a little bit harsh. Bear with me, Ben. Yeah. Yes, Ben, I can hold the fort. Don't stress.
Good lad.
Don't worry. You go and get yourself a drink, mate. Now you can't see me. Hey.
Best way that, mate.
Yeah, no, I think it's a little bit harsh on Michael Duff. Style of play, they recruited heavily for his style of play. I think he's a good manager at this level as well. They've got results. Like, you look at the league table, Huddersfield are only 2 points outside the playoffs. I know Bolton have got a game in hand. I think the issue with Huddersfield is more at the higher ups, and having done a bit of research on that, it seems to be with the director of football, Mark Cartwright, where the issues are falling in terms of recruitment, in terms of the physio staff, and to what they're putting into the players throughout the week, and also on match day. Clearly, it's physically demanding. I can't help but think that Michael Duff probably would have got it turned around a little bit. I know they've dropped off a little bit, but I still think Michael Duff could have seen them finishing the playoffs. To me, and it sort of screams a little bit that they've just given up on this season. They've got what? How many games have they got left? They've got 10 games left. They have every chance of getting into the top six. Yeah, I think it's a little bit rash. What do the people in the chat think? Because I think Michael Duff could still have got them into the play. I don't think Huddersfield were ever going to get promoted. It's bad luck.
Right. So my basically thoughts on it. Sorry, I just had to. Nature called. Basically, yeah. And my thoughts of it was, I wasn't surprised. That style of Duff has to win. For me, it comes of that. It is a very... when it wins games of football, Duff, you love him to bits because he gets fans, down-to-earth bloke, and he needs time. At Charlton was given time. At Barnsley, slow starters for the first kind of 2-3 months of the season. And from February onwards, Barnsley, for me, were up there with one of the best three sides in the division. And I say that I'd say probably the second best side in the division from February onwards in terms of kind of results and what they did. I think only Ipswich were probably better than them, who were phenomenal in that back end of that season. They were better than Plymouth, who, yes, got 101 points, but I think that Barnsley for over that period were just unbelievable. And then Sheffield Wednesday got 96 points. And then you look at other sides that were very good as well. I think that more time was needed. I think Huddersfield have gone for so many different managers over the years. Cowley, Darren Moore, this one here as well. And for me, they've always gone for a manager that's done well at a division or done well previously elsewhere. And they've never really come in and lived up to expectations, but not given enough time for me. I think the business was okay in the summer. I think they've got a good squad. I think it should be in and around the top six. Should it have any divine right to be in the top six, that squad? No. For me, I think Birmingham are better than them. I think Wrexham's business was better than them. I think Wycombe have actually got a really good squad.
Bolton.
I think Bolton are better than them. I think Charlton are outstanding. I think Stockport's recruitment was probably better than them and more suited to this division. I think for a long time, for 6 months, they lacked a striker. You saw that at times. And yes, Corona's been good, and Callum Marshall's hold the fort as well. And I just don't know what this Huddersfield Town team wants. And they want probably better football. They were bored going to games, which I get. Loads of injuries hasn't helped. They're outside the playoffs. The form isn't great. They've given the job to a member of staff that the Huddersfield fans love, and they probably wouldn't want elsewhere else. But with 11 games, it stinks of Barnsley last year when they got rid of Collins with a few games to go, just trying to get a kick to get him into the playoff, just trying to get a bit of a spark to get a winning run together. Because I tell you what, it could be 78 points that gets into the playoffs. We're already with 11 games to go, and we're at 60 points. It's going to be way more than 73, 74, 70. You'd imagine with 11 games to go, a team going average, 1.8 points per game? It's going to be around 78. Huddersfield are going to need to go and get 20 points. It's going to need to be 2 points per game mark. And that is going to be interesting. We'll come to the comments. Harsh to sack. Duff. Huddersfield have been the biggest disappointment this season. Peterborough maybe, but you maybe expected a little bit as well. I think the biggest disappointment this season is that we've still got this man on our show. So that's probably been the biggest disappointment for me. I was quite hoping at one point, he's coming down to League Two. He's coming down. And then Brendan Wirdy will come to Central Bank. Harsh considering now injuries, boo. Right. So, I think overall, Jake made some really good points while I was away. Probably some of the best points he's made since I've been here. Jake, Leyton Orient 1, Northampton 2. Now, I want to ask you, you were massively critical of the appointment of Kevin Nolan. They've taken a massive 20 points from the 15 games under him. However, they've won 4, drawn 2, and lost 2 in the last 8, taking 14 points across that period. Before that, Leyton Orient, Northampton had 21 from 21. It wasn't disastrous for Northampton. This squad wasn't a rip up and start again. It wasn't anywhere near of. It was close to the bottom 4, and it was getting dragged in a little bit. But it didn't really feel like if Brady would have stayed, I thought he would have stayed up anyway, regardless. They're doing well. We'll come to Leyton Orient in a minute, but great result for the Cobblers.
Yeah, it was. I think I had my right to be critical about that appointment when it was made at the time. I didn't.
What surprised me is you were massively a fan of Calderon, and I think that
I wasn't that big a fan of Calderon. I like the style. I like the style of Calderon. Yeah, absolutely, I did. But with Kevin Nolan, I'd seen him before in a first team environment, and I didn't particularly rate him. But fair play to him. You can't get every opinion right, Nappers, and I'm sure you've and everyone in here has been guilty of getting things wrong as well. So don't you be
oh man, I've had some stinkers.
Put the spike on me. They've got some, and do you know what it is, Ben? I think it's ever since Terry Taylor's come into the building, they've been a completely different outfit. He was outstanding again yesterday. He's put in a number of impressive performances. Think about how good Charlton's midfield must be if Terry Taylor can't get a game, in it. They were good out of possession. I thought they were very good. Later, they contained Leyton Orient pretty well. They used set pieces, which they were. Northampton aren't aerially dominant, but I think they latched on to the fact that Leyton Orient struggle with set pieces, and they put their arms in, their left elbows in, and they pushed and they shoved, and they took every advantage that they could get, and ultimately they scored 2 goals. Yeah, Sue's not allowed to say that word. That's not all right. She can only say it once. If she says it again, she's in trouble. All right, Ben.
Yeah, she only. Yellow card.
That's a yellow card. Or don't shred it like Max Foster did in the Simon charity game yesterday. That was.
Oh yeah.
Hey? Yeah, I'm sure you'd have seen it on your TikTok this morning.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, really good win for them. Yeah, like I say, Terry Taylor's changed his team. They've got McGeehan back, who's a real threat going forward. Tyler Roberts, obviously on loan from Blues at the moment. He's been okay this season. He's added a little bit of flair to that top line. I also think it helped that they caught Orient at the right time. Obviously, that's 5 defeats in a row for Leyton Orient. They caught Orient at a good time, didn't they? If this was Northampton playing Orient a month ago, if they'd have played it when we would have played them, I think you could be seeing something else. But Orient just have the confidence sucked out of them a little bit. And
and they all like that Leyton Orient. They started the season poorly. And then last year, this is Leyton Orient last year. Started the season poorly for 3 or 4 months. Go on a really good run at similar time and then fall apart a little bit. Leyton Orient before this had 1-9, drew 2. Then lost to Stockport, then 1-3 on the spin. So that made it 12 wins, 2 draws, and 1 defeat in 15, taking 38 points across that. What's followed is 5 defeats to Bolton Wanderers, Birmingham, Charlton, and then recently Northampton. And then this one,
this one was Northampton. It was Rotherham.
Rotherham, there you are, 14th and 17th. 3 sides that they lost to early in the year that you can forgive, and then forgive again. But the last 2 should really maybe win 1. It's disappointing. It's the first time Leyton Orient have lost 5 on the spin in the league for the first time since February 2022 under the management of Kenny Jackett and Matt Harrold as well. Leyton Orient need to get back to winning ways a little bit, but again, a decent season for Richie Wellens' men, who celebrates again 3 years in the job as the O's manager. Shut up.
Who's thinking about Danny Cowley then?
Yeah, I've been doing
talking about the U's.
I've got some very, very exciting news. So I'm not going to announce it yet, but a lot of work has been done on Colchester United. So I'm very excited to announce that this week as well. So I rang Jake with it and told him, and he told me, give me some instructions anyway. So and I'm not managing the football club. Don't Pete can have the job till the end of the year, then I come and take it over and get us promoted. Peterborough 1, Wycombe 1. Wycombe 1 is a late grasping point away at London Road. Salvaged a point as they go back to second in the table. Wrexham thought they'd gone second. Well, they haven't just yet. Peterborough have now just lost one of their last 7 home league games against Wycombe, winning 3 and drawing 3. And Peterborough have lost just one of the last 10 home league games played on a Saturday, winning 5, drawing 4. With these matches witnessing 39 goals as well. Wycombe have failed to win any of their last 4 league away games. And you look at it, the games recently, not just at home, not just away, not just at home, not just away, both home and away, because there's no other games, is there? It's home or away.
Home or away, yeah.
Yeah, the analysis.
That's also an Australian soap opera, in case you're.
Yeah, my mum likes that type of program. Garbage. It's Crawley away, drop points. Wigan at home, drop points. It's here today, frustrating. You dropped 6 points there. Could that be the difference at the end of the year?
Wow.
Wrexham, I've caught them up. Bolton and Charlton on the heels. Stockport just 6 behind.
What they're doing is giving other teams encouragement, Ben, aren't they? Because beforehand we can just look like they were going to just steamroll themselves into, the top 2 with really good performances. They went on a run where they scored, I think it was 13 goals over 3 away games before Christmas. They were outstanding, but since obviously Matt Bloomfield has left, I get in trouble for being anti-Wycombe, so I have to be careful what I say. I don't know. Dodds didn't fill me with a lot of inspiration. I wasn't a massive fan of the appointment, and it's sort of starting to. He's gone from taking them to winning games to drawing games, and ultimately, if Wycombe want to get themselves automatically promoted, that's the difference. I mean, yesterday they scored 90 plus 3. Yeah, you can say it's great character, but also it's quite fortunate that they're able to secure that point, because Peterborough, I think, had a couple of opportunities at their spur, and there was a goal disallowed in the game as well. So, yeah, look, it's a good point considering it's 90 plus 3 for Wycombe to come out of there unbeaten still. But Peterborough will be disappointed. I don't know. It's the appointment of the manager, Ben, for me that's made me a little bit concerned about Wycombe. I don't know about you, but
yeah,
it comes with a good pedigree, but it felt like all he had to do is just go in and not change a lot. But I feel like he's maybe tried to change a little bit too much too quickly, and all of a sudden you've just seen them gone from steaming through teams to just dropping points consistently. I'm not sure what's going on with them.
2 wins, 2 draws, 2 defeats, I think it is. Oh no, 1 defeat. Sorry, so it's not. Or 2 draws, 3 wins, 2 wins, 3 draws, 1 defeat. It's not that bad, but pretty much they've dropped off and just turned a couple of draws into wins. That's all you need to do. for me now, the game next Saturday is a massive game for the football club. Again, for Peterborough, great point for them, a point closer to safety, and we're slowly seeing the Peterborough of old recently as well. Wrexham had to win, and win they did. Wrexham have won 5 of the last 7 league games, keeping 3 consecutive clean sheets for the first time since December. This is Wrexham's 20th victory of the season. 14 occasions they've won by 1 goal, and 8 occasions they've won by the scoreline of 1-0. This is Wrexham's 17th clean sheet of the season as well. Only Birmingham have kept more clean sheets with 18. Wycombe and Wrexham next week, and Adams Park is massive. Rotherham have failed to win any of their last 11 away league games against sides from Wales. Last beating Wrexham in 2007, September 2007 as well. Kershaw was just being born that year, I believe, as well. So a long time ago. No, if Wrexham were good, decent yesterday, cross into the box. Cleworth again got forward and asked questions as well. The goal is a long goal kick. Jay Rodriguez does excellently well to leap and just flick it on. And Sam Smith gets in behind, really, really good run and just slots it home. It literally... I've said about Wrexham how quickly they can get the ball forward. That takes it to another level. It was a 3-piece move as well. And Wrexham win the game 1-0. And what Wrexham do is they win fine margins games, where Blackpool have struggled this year, where they are mid-table because they draw too many games. Charlton last year drew too many games. They drew 20 last year. And if you can win and just find a way to win the game 1-0 in those scrappy, tough moments, there's half of the games are scrappy in League One a season. Yeah, then you get a few nice games, a few tactical games. Wrexham find a way to win in the games where it's decided by 1 goal, and to win 70% of your games by a goal. Wrexham are good at the non-negotiables and the basics, and they're finding a way to win. Look, massive win for them. They're the ones now with the kind of the drive behind them as well. With 11 games to go, could they go back to back?
Well, you certainly fancy them in playoff games where they are often decided by 1 goal, don't you? Sam Smith's 13th goal of the season, a really important one, gets his team another 3 points. Look, they're not vintage, are they? They're not fantastic on the eye. And I think I came on here and said maybe teams will figure Wrexham out second half of the season and they'll drop off, but they're finding a way to beat teams that are trying to counteract what they're trying to do. Rotherham went there yesterday to sit in, try and hit them on the counter-attack. But Wrexham, we've often said famously, the way to beat Wrexham is by giving them the ball. I think if you look at the game, Wrexham were the driving force and had more opportunities. Rotherham were on the back foot for a lot of that game. Despite reading what the stats say, having spoken to a couple of Wrexham fans, they were never in any danger of Rotherham Rotherham scoring. They didn't feel. Look, it was vintage. Not out of second gear. Again, like another team that won at the top end of the league yesterday. They were good. That's all they need to be. This Wrexham team are just finding new levels continuously, and it's not attractive. It's not pretty. But unlike Micheal Duff, he's finding a way to win on a regular basis, and that's the difference between keeping your job and losing your job. So, there's a chance to go back to back, Ben, because like you say, Wrexham in fine margin football, I back them over any other team in the playoffs currently at this minute in time. Maybe Charlton might give them a run for the money. So if that's a playoff semi-final, that would make an interesting catch up. But I think it's a decent. I think it's a good win for them. They're now level on points with Wycombe, which is massive for them. They've only got the league to focus on now as well, haven't they? They're not going to worry about going to Wembley for the Virtue Trophy. They can solely focus on getting themselves back into the Championship where they were a number of years ago. But yesterday, a good win. Did you see the drama between McLean and the Rotherham fans? I don't know if you would have seen it. There was a bit of a hoo-ha coming off the pitch at the end. James McLean and the Rotherham fans. I think James McLean gets stick everywhere he goes, doesn't he? So he's sort of used to it now. And I quite like that he plays up to it sometimes. It makes quite a good viewing as a neutral. So, good win for Wrexham. Rotherham, look, we've said it probably since about the middle of November, December. the season's over, really, isn't it? For Rotherham, they're one of these teams that are on the beach, have accumulated enough points so they don't get relegated. They've never really been in any playoff conversation throughout the course of the season so far. So, yeah, good win for Wrexham. For Rotherham, it's all about getting to next season. And maybe if I'm Rotherham, I'd be having a bit of a look at where the long-term vision might be for the football club. Because as it seems to me, Ben, I don't know if you share this opinion, Rotherham seems such a short-sighted football club. They don't look at the long-term anywhere near as much as they should do.
That's why they get come down.
It's why they're so yo-yo. I mean, the appointment of Evans, just proves that exactly. So, yeah, it's I'm worried about Rotherham. I think next year, if I was Rotherham, I'd get rid of Steve Evans in the summer and bring in somebody that's exciting, that makes the fans excited.
Younger.
Yeah, because the Rotherham at this level, Ben, are traditionally a pretty good side, whereas this year they've just been so mediocre and abject. Yes, they got 6 points off us. Well done. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a fan of what Rotherham are trying to do. They're so short-sighted.
I'm going to let you start off with this game. I'm going to come in. I just want to hear your thoughts.
Here we go.
Birmingham City 1.
Yes,
Lincoln 0.
Go for it. My thoughts. Look, I've seen a lot of comments from Blues fans on social media, and I completely understand why perhaps they lack a little bit of understanding. Maybe when in a couple of years, when they're in the Premier League and they're going to Liverpool or Man City, who spend 15, 16, 17 times what their club can do, I think you maybe understand Lincoln's mentality yesterday. We've not been in good form. We had no confidence. I know we beat Crawley 4-1 in the week, but we've not won a lot of games in the second half of the season, and we'll admit that. Going away to Birmingham, and Nappers, I think you understand this maybe more than the Blues fans. You go to Birmingham as a smaller club like Lincoln are. You try and go there. You defend. You sit low. You defend, and you try and come out of a point. That is what you do, right? I think, especially given, you can take it back to expenditure. You can take it back to whatever. Lincoln going away to Birmingham, and to be fair, first half we defended really well. Like Birmingham had one moment where they should have scored. I think it was Gardner Hitman at the far post. Look, Birmingham moved the ball around really nicely. They're a really good football inside. They move it around. They ask questions. There's really good third runs from Paik on the left-hand side that Tom Bailey struggled with. The positioning of the fullbacks was a constant issue for Lincoln yesterday. But that's why we came to sit deep and why we tried to do it. And when you defend so long and to be honest, the second half wasn't a huge amount of opportunity for Birmingham. George Wickens made one good save in the first half. I can't remember particularly making an unbelievable save in the second half. That is why Lincoln fans will feel that they warranted getting something out of the game, not because of what we did going forward, because that was very limited. And if we'd done things differently, we maybe would have been talking about getting something out of the game. Rico Hackett had a chance on the edge of the box where it probably should have put it on target, but he didn't. Dom Jeffries had one where he didn't put it on target. So Lincoln had moments in the game that if they were more clinical, which we weren't, which I completely understand where Blues fans are coming from. I thought our defensive efforts yesterday should have earned us a point. That's my opinion. I'm a Lincoln City fan. I have Lincoln City's best interest at heart, right? No doubt Birmingham City are a fantastic football club at what they're trying to do. Absolutely, they'll go and win the league. They're unbelievable, right? But when you defend like we did, I honestly think Blues fans maybe need a little bit of perspective. And they'll get it in a couple of years when they're playing Liverpool and they're playing Man City or in the Premier League and they can't spend what they can. They'll get that. So that's coming for Birmingham fans. I'm not salty that we lost. I thought we deserved something. Birmingham are a miles better football team than we are at this minute in time. Fair play to them. They won. The issue with the penalty, I had an issue with the penalty. You don't, Ben. A lot of people don't have issues with the penalty. I think it's soft, but I'm a Lincoln fan. I'm allowed to think it's soft. I thought it was I thought it was a coming together in the box, and the referee, when you go to places like St Andrews, you need the referees to help you out. And we didn't get it yesterday. That's absolutely fine. That's absolutely fine. Birmingham beat us yesterday. Birmingham were fantastic. I thought our defensive nous shut them down. Jay Stansford had absolutely no chances, didn't do anything. I thought we were good yesterday. We worked really hard, and our defensive, like I said, but that's my opinion. I'm a Lincoln fan, right? I'm well expecting to get a load of stick in the chat, right? Because there's Birmingham fans yet, and I don't care, right? I don't particularly care. I'm not bothered about Birmingham. Birmingham will go and get promoted, and I don't have to worry about Birmingham again, right? I can't wait for the day, right? But for now, I was proud of our players yesterday. I thought we played particularly well. We defended really well. What else can I say? Fair play to Birmingham. You won the game. Well done.
One thing I will say, right, and I think Birmingham fans, they can agree or disagree. I genuinely think everybody that goes to St Andrews, Knighton Park, is basically go with a game plan, and I understand why they do it, to sit in and frustrate, and they don't want to go and open up because Birmingham will rip you apart. You can't win. You go there and sit in, they have a bit of quality. For me, it's an absolute stonewall penalty, if I've ever seen one. For me, he blocks him off, he pulls him down, and there's a high leg to starters. So that's 3 occasions it should. I've let you speak. Now let me speak. I didn't interrupt you there once.
You're a Blues fan.
Let me speak, right? No, I'm not. You know, I've been to more Lincoln games this year than I have Birmingham games. So let me speak, and I want Lincoln. I want you to win yesterday, because I thought, well, if anyone, because for the banter of the show, it'd be good, right? Well done to Birmingham for winning. For me, it's a stonewall penalty. I thought Birmingham could have won that game 4 or 5-0 from the chances that I've watched. Hansen had 1. Gardner Hickman had 2. Stansfield had 1 that Adam Jackson made an unbelievable block, by the way. George Wickens made an unbelievable save. Gardner Hickman put 1 over. That's that for starters. For me, I think everybody goes to St Andrews and basically expects, we're going to get beat 3 or 4-0 and expect to go and play Barcelona when they're playing Birmingham. Birmingham are a great side, right? However, they're not going to absolutely carve you open time and time again. That's what you expect. And because you go there and defend so well, and you think, tell you what, we've got 11 men behind the ball and we've done well. And Lincoln did that. They had 24% of the play. They never shot on target. But I think that, because we've defended better than we thought. We're so unlucky not to win the game of football. When Birmingham, you're in trouble, Birmingham, and Birmingham had the better opportunities. And I think that some people think that, because we did this okay at Birmingham, we were unlucky in that key area, that we should have come away with a point. And I think that if you played like that in another game, you won't be saying you deserved a point. It's because it's at Birmingham and what you expect from the other team.
It's not.
So that for me, let me finish. That for me is the reason why I think Lincoln fans probably thought they deserved something a bit more yesterday than they normally would. Look, Lincoln did the job well, and I understand why they did it. And look, frustrating, you've lost by a penalty kick. There's no hardship by that. But I think everybody goes to the St Andrews and thinks, right, we're up for this today. We're going to get this, we're going to get this. And then you think, it's not as bad as I first thought. We're doing well, we're containing them. Just because you contain them well enough, everyone thinks you deserve a point. Whereas, realistically, you look at the key highlights of the game. Birmingham were lucky not to have 3 or 4 yesterday. So, look, it's a great victory for them. It's a fantastic victory for them. Lincoln have done so well to get to where they want to be. But let's be honest, right? Get to where they want to be to play Birmingham City. Little Lincoln City, who were in the National League years ago as well. And that's where Lincoln City, they played bigger teams than Birmingham City, in League One, and Premier League football teams in Arsenal as well. They've come a long way. And budget-wise, you're never going to compete. But I think that every time you go to a big club, that it's not, you don't go with the same expectation you do for Shrewsbury away, do you? Where if you do certain things at Shrewsbury, you think, certain things that all of a sudden you keep the ball long and you have a shot. It's like, we should have scored. Where, you know what I mean? I don't think Lincoln deserved anything from that game yesterday. Genuinely.
I respect your opinion, Ben. I do. But I do think Blues fans need a bit of perspective. It's not me being salty, because I'm not. Because you've beaten us 3 times this year. Fair play. I just think a bit of perspective is needed, because they have jumped everywhere.
But you can't. For me, if you went to Shrewsbury away with 24% of the possession, had 0 shots on target, and they beat you with a penalty kick, one that you won't be coming on here and saying you deserve. You wouldn't. You're only saying it because it's Birmingham City.
I'm
You're
not.
on 79 points.
I'd say it away at
The
Bolton.
exact same game, but because you got St Andrews and defend really well.
I said it away at Bolton and Wrexham.
Yeah, but again, big club. When you're away to a big club, that for me, that's the issue.
I will be grateful for the day that they are gone and they never come back. Because
I'm not, mate. Because
I never want to see
a lot of Birmingham fans that subscribe.
I never want to see you come back. Please,
there's 230, and please subscribe.
Please don't come back. I really don't want you to come back.
Yeah, tell you what, the way we're going on, you think that I was in the bloody Omen yesterday, wouldn't you? But
unlike Jack,
mate,
Jack
I genuinely watched this one on 2 speed. Don't get me wrong, the full game back, and for me, Birmingham could have 4 or 5, mate. Come on, the block from Jackson was unbelievable.
That's how you get. That's what you do as a defender.
But as well, Portsmouth last year, and people will moan, Birmingham have had the most penalties in the division. Do you know why? Because Birmingham City have the most possession in the division. Birmingham City have the most box entries in the division. Birmingham City have more time in the opposition box. And they've only conceded 1 penalty this year because other teams don't have much of the ball in their box because Birmingham City have faced the least shots and the least expected goals. So for me, Birmingham City, yes, they got 10 penalties, but they're going to have more penalties because they've got more of the ball.
Yeah, they were a good team. But they were a good team.
Home games unbeaten, Jake, as well.
I'm not. They're a really, really good League One team, Ben. Absolutely, of course they are.
Legend. Thanks for that as well.
I'm not particularly salty. They've beaten us, but it's yeah. Look, I'm disappointed because I'm a Lincoln fan. We've not got something out of a game which I thought we could have done. Right, on a different day, I think we could have done, but we didn't. So let's move on. Birmingham go get promoted. We'll be in this league again next year.
Before we do move on, there's 237 of you. I bet you're not all subscribed. So we're currently at 16,604 subscribers. Let's see how many we can go up from this quick message before the next season. Let's see if we can get up another 5. Subscribe. That'd be very beneficial. Next game, Exeter 2, Shrewsbury 0. Talk about Shrewsbury away, Jake. Talk me through this one. Exeter City with their 9th point in 2025. Shrewsbury now in a position where they're only 3 or 4 points adrift a few weeks ago after that point at Reading, have since lost 5 of the last 6 and now are struggling. Exeter were in poor form before this one. Since April 2024, Shrewsbury have won just 2 of their 22 away league fixtures in this division, drawing 7, losing 13, scoring an average of 0.90 goals a game.
Where have they won? Do you know where they've won?
Yeah, Crawley.
Yeah, 5-3.
Yeah, Crawley was 1, and then they beat. What was the other one? They beat. I'll tell you, they beat now. They beat. Wasn't Cambridge? It was it Burton. Was it Burton? No, it wasn't Burton. They lost to Burton.
They lost to Burton.
Peterborough, Exeter. No,
is it this season?
No. Yeah, will be.
Oh, where did Shrewsbury win? Where did Shrewsbury win away?
Lincoln.
No, they didn't. We're not playing them at home yet.
Rotherham.
Oh,
Rotherham 2-1.
2-1. Yeah. No, it was. It was. It was a good win for Exeter. Really much needed because they were slipping down the table, weren't they? At an alarming rate. Yeah, well done, Nappers. Congratulations. But they're now bottom of the. Shrewsbury now bottom of the table. 28 points, 11 points from safety with Bristol Rovers having that game in hand. It looks a really tough ask now. And I know, Ben, when that Ainsworth was appointed, we were very big on them coming back, but coming back from the dead. But it doesn't look like Ainsworth have been able to have that effect, does it? For Exeter, like you say, they were slipping down the table. That's a massive 3 points for them. Gets them up to 40 points now, which is particularly big for them. Thought they were good.
What a guy!
He's a good bloke, isn't he? Even Ben's here. Even if you look, Ben Commons, they're brothers. I sat in between them on the coach yesterday.
A Jake's on sandwich.
Oh, it was lovely. We had a lovely time.
To be fair, yesterday, right, for the people, I spoke to Jake about 8 o'clock yesterday. I let him speak for 5 minutes before I ranted at him. All I could hear was examining. Oh, sorry, I'm just eating Pringles. That's all I could hear.
Cheat day, mate. Cheat day. It was good. it was a good win for them, for Exeter. Much needed, like we say. Shrewsbury look pretty much down in the dumps now. Exeter's next couple of games that they've got coming up, Ben, it's a big couple of weeks for them. Mansfield on Tuesday night, obviously. Then they've got Rotherham, who have got nothing to play for. The next 3 games against teams with nothing to play for. Rotherham at Mansfield at home, and then Rotherham and Lincoln City away. So they could try and have safety wrapped up by the end of this month. That would be good for them. But yeah, it was a fantastic win for them. For Shrewsbury, I am worried, Ben, because they've got. I like what Ainsworth was trying to do, but sometimes players just don't buy into it, and you can sometimes see in this Shrewsbury team that they're not quite buying into what he's trying to teach them, and unfortunately, it looks like they're going to get themselves relegated.
No disrespect, but Exeter's record against the bottom sides is the double over Shrewsbury, beat Cambridge. They find a way to beat sides worse than them. Shrewsbury that last year very well, I thought, as well, especially in the first half. Look, Shrewsbury have only won one of the last 8 away league games at Exeter. Blast coming away in August 2008. Wigan Athletic got back to winning ways. Before this one, Wigan had just won one of their last 9 home league games played on a Saturday, conceding 2+ goals in 5 of those matches. However, Cambridge come to town and Wigan win. Glenn Whelan's unbeaten start as interim manager continues, a win and a draw. Cambridge, in the last few games, haven't created much. However, they haven't conceded much, have they? They've won 2. They've now lost the last 2, both by a goal to nil. Better quality by Big Goal Reedy the other day. Better quality from Wigan yesterday. Look, they are hard to break down. They're resolute. They just don't have the quality, Jay. Cambridge have now only just won one of their last 12 away league games, though that did come in their last outing before this one away at Crawley. They've lost 7 games away from home in their last 12. League 2 awaits for me. They're all going on a League 2 holiday. I don't think there's going to be Bolton for a year or 2.
No, but there will be a Fleetwood.
We're all going on a League 2 holiday. No more Bolton for a year or 2.
I will tell you what, though, Ben. I actually thought Cambridge deserved something out of this game. They, in the first half particularly, I thought they made a hatful of chances, a couple of nearly moments. Josh Stokes had one particularly well saved from Sam Tickle in the Wigan goal. They got themselves in some really good areas. They just make the wrong decision yesterday. And whether that's the pressure of knowing the situation that they're in, or whether it's the fact they just genuinely don't have the quality to try and keep themselves at this level, I don't particularly know. But they had lots of really nearly moments. And to be honest, Ben, the goal from a Wigan point of view, well, if you're looking at it through Cambridge eyes, it's a really poor one to concede because the shot comes in. I think it's Bishop in the Cambridge goal who's been pretty good since he came in. I thought he played really well at our place a couple of weeks ago. Makes the save. He just palms it right into an area where Luke Robinson can't really miss because he's about 2 yards out. I'd even have money on someone like Jack Kershaw finishing that when I'm sure you've seen his footballing ability, and it leaves a lot to be desired, I've been told. So, yeah, no, it was...
I can't comment.
No, you were good. You were okay in 5-a-side. We're going to play 5-a-sides in a couple of months, aren't we, when you come back down?
Yeah, 6 weeks now.
Yeah, looking forward to that. But yeah, it's a win for Wigan. It leads you... It's a poor performance at home, particularly poor. I thought they weren't great again, and that's the whole issue as to why they sacked Sean Maloney. I thought they were getting Ryan Lowe in. Obviously, Gary O'Neill's now the favourite, I think, the ex-Wolves and Bournemouth manager, after being spotted on a train platform in Wigan Northwest Station. Not sure I will like that, but they got some good players. And they're going to lose some players in the summer, aren't they? Some really big players you would have thought they'd be interested. Dale Taylor will go back to Forest, I would have thought, and maybe get a permanent move away from there. Sam Tickle will leave. Yesterday they played John Mellish as a 10, Ben, with a number 2 on his back, running Darcy out wide. Not sure how I feel about that. So
modern football for you.
Yeah, modern football. But yeah, good win for them. For Cambridge, I do worry because they were positive yesterday. They did play well. Brophy out wide had a decent game. Stokes midfield has been decent since coming in as well. Digby, Dambala, Kachunga. Yeah, it's unfortunate. And Cambridge, you look at Cambridge's next couple. It's a particularly big couple of weeks for them. Blackpool away on Tuesday night, but still Peterborough at home in the Cambridgeshire derby next Saturday. They go away to Barnsley. Where else are they? They're at home to Northampton. That could be a massive game for them if they're still in touching distance. But looking at the table, it's looking a bit ominous for Cambridge United. 10 points from safety. It's going to be a real uphill battle for them to stay up.
Yeah, I agree with that. Crawley won, Reading won. This was just the second Football League meet between Crawley and Reading. Reading won the reserve fixture 4-1. Crawley won one of their last 8 home league games, drawing 4, losing 3. A late goal gives Crawley a point, however, well adrift still of safety. Reading unbeaten across their last 6 games on a Saturday, winning 3, drawing 3. Enjoying as long as a run back in September and October, 6 games also in 2020. 2 drop for Reading there late on as well, because you think about it, they could have gone within 3 points, within 6, and kept that gap a bit shorter. I can't see Reading finding a way to get in, if I'm honest with you. Been a solid season, 15 wins, 10 draws, 10 defeats. For Crawley, all but down now for me. I think that bottom 4 will stay as it is.
Yeah, well, I remember coming on there on Wednesday night and telling you how poor Crawley were on Tuesday. I thought they were awful. So for them to get a point, I mean, it almost does nothing for them, doesn't it? Because at this time of the year, Crawley need 3 points. They don't need 1 point, and they'll be disappointed. Kamari Doyle, though, getting another assist, he was good on Tuesday night. But yeah, for Reading, 2 points definitely dropped. It was an opportunity to move within striking distance to the playoffs, but they're now 5 points out. It has been a good season for them, Ben, because everyone, Reading were the hardest team, certainly for me, to place in my 1-24 this year. Maybe whilst Birmingham were the easiest. Reading were by far the hardest, because you didn't know, whether Ruben Sellers was going to stay. The players were particularly being linked with moves away all the time. The ownership, whether they were going to see the season out. Obviously, they're in a period of exclusivity at the moment, aren't they, regarding a new ownership? So we hope that comes through for them, so that we can see Reading next year. But it's been a really good season. Positive. They've progressed from last year. They've still kept the bulk of the key players, and look, they're not out of the race, are they? At the moment, they're still only 5 points away, so they'll be backing themselves quietly, but needed to win yesterday to try and give themselves some momentum.
After winning the first 2 Football League games against Charlton in 1997 and 1998, Stockport currently now winners in the last 6. First draw, though, however, yesterday. Charlton in 2025 has many points as Birmingham. Charlton have played 1 more game than the Blues. A tightly encounter, very scrappy. However, when 4th meets 5th, 2 sides in decent settle. Charlton, especially, in very good settle in this last 3 months. I mean, one of the best sides in the division, probably the second best side in the division. Let's be honest about it. Over the course of 3 months, have been brilliant since that. I think the 21st of December, it was that Northampton game, wasn't it? And been brilliant. Nathan Jones is installing a belief there, and look, because they've not scored as many as a side around them, but they're good defensively as well, which is the main thing as well. Again, 0-0, nothing really to talk about. Both teams are point close to where they want to be.
Yeah, was a difficult watch. This one on the coach on Saturday, at Saturday lunchtime. I thought it was going to be a real cracker with it being 4 versus 5th, but sometimes in these games, you expect high quality, but sometimes neither team really want to lose it, and that showed it yesterday. I thought 2 teams that didn't want to make a mistake. They weren't playing with their usual free-flowing attacking football. Stockport, they looked like they just wanted to try and keep Charlton at arm's length the best they could, and they were able to do that. So, yeah, not a lot to report on this one, Ben. 0-0 draw. Not a lot of goal mouth action. It was a particularly poor game to watch. Right. As are most half-12s, to be honest. Let's be fair.
They're awful, aren't they?
Yeah. And also, I mean, I don't know if there's any Charlton fans in here. No Alex Micheal. What's going on? What's Alex Micheal done to not be in the team? Not even on the bench yesterday.
Yeah. Well, talk to me. Predictions.
We still haven't done a game, Ben.
Which game have we not done?
Mansfield,
Oh,
Stevenage.
Mansfield Stevenage. Talk me through it. 1-1.
Jamie Reid scored for Stevenage in the 44th
Again.
minute.
I was calling him no goal Reedy last Saturday.
And Jordan Rhodes scored a goal for Barnsley in the 81st minute, set up by Will Evans. So it was 1-1. Both teams scored one and both conceded one. Stevenage Mansfield for you, everybody.
There you are. Absolutely.
Barley celebrated a corner. Obviously.
What a guy. $4.99 donation. All the
Wicked.
donations genuinely go back into supporting the channel, the software, StreamYard, obviously, costs a lot of money as well. So it genuinely helps me do the shows, because without the support of you guys, we won't be able to be in the situation that we're in. I can't wait to share my personal news. I'll probably put it out tomorrow or Tuesday, but I think
Tomorrow.
I'm half tempted to say it now, but I'll wait till tomorrow.
One morning.
Again, I couldn't be in this situation without you guys as well. And thank you so much for the donation. I'll be honest, totally be honest with you. I had Tuesday off from vlogging. Now I said to Jack this. I went for the first. I said it just as we got into career. I went, I'm not in the mood for vlogging today. I just never felt it. And you have to feel in the mode to do it. Like you're doing. It's not work. It's a pleasure to do. And I'm watching the game on commentary, and I just got there, and there's no light in the press box. It was very tight. I just wanted to relax. And yesterday, honestly, probably the most I've enjoyed vlogging for ages as well. Yesterday, in comms as well, probably. And look, it made me realize how much I love doing it, and probably don't want to give it up, which I was probably thinking about. So probably the greatest thing I ever did was have that break. Are you getting married, Ben? No, this is good. You know the news, Sue. You know the news. But as always, what can I say, Sam? Thank you very much. Right, any questions? Get them in.
Hold on.
Predictions,
mate.
Yeah, no, but get them in while we're doing this.
Yeah. So, Ben, you got 6 points this week. I got 7, which means you climb up to 284, and I'm on 290 as a present. Right, Ben. Looking at the games, we have 6 fixtures midweek.
Right.
Are we doing a show on Wednesday if we've got 6 games?
Tell you what, Jesus Christ, my seat's gone down. Hang on a minute. Jesus Christ. Yeah, my seat's gone really down, look like a midget. Should we do a show?
Should we see what the results are first?
Yeah. We'll see what the
results are. But what we'll do Tuesday night and Saturday, because we don't know if we're going to do a show on. Anyway, so right, we'll continue with the AB format, because I think that's the most fair, isn't it? And we'll just work our way down. So Ben, you get to start, because I went first last week, with Birmingham taking on Stevenage.
Birmingham 2, Stevenage 0.
I think Blues will be really annoyed they only scored 1 goal on the weekend. I think Birmingham will win this by 3-0.
And Stevenage will go there with 23% of possession. Not have a shot on target, but deserve a point.
Keep you being sassy. Just because you're jealous that we get to play them in a league game, mate.
Mate, we've gone down in the worst year ever.
Yeah, haven't you?
Genuinely the worst. I'd love to go there. Oh, 27,000 Birmingham.
Oh, you wouldn't, mate. You wouldn't want to go there. You don't want to go there.
1 of 10.
No.
Genuinely, I was working out about my TikTok. I've got about 11k now. I reckon 30% of that are Blues fans. And I reckon I've gained, 2,000 subscribers this season, which is about 500 shy of last year. Obviously, League 2 doesn't help. But I reckon most of my Blues fans. If you could subscribe and cut the deficit as well. Oh, crap, my glasses have gone. Oh, crap. Got too excited.
You look a very different man with glasses, don't you, Nappers?
I know. Get subscribed. Please subscribe. All the numbers add up, so please subscribe.
Right. Blackpool versus Cambridge. I'm going to go Blackpool 2, Cambridge 0.
I'll go Blackpool 3, Cambridge 1.
Ben, going to you for Bristol Rovers. Are they playing Bolton Wanderers?
2-0 Bolton Wanderers.
I'm going to go 2-1 Bolton. Crawley Charlton. I'm going Crawley 0, Charlton Athletic 2.
Oh. It's a type of game. Was this the game where they were in the ground with like 10 minutes to go and it got called off, didn't it, on New Year's Day? It was, wasn't it? Do you remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was. It got called off. They'd done the warm-ups and they'd gone in, and everybody was in the ground.
Crawley won at Charlton, didn't they? 2-1.
Yeah, 2-1 on a Tuesday night. One of the last victories, wasn't it, before Mansfield and the one recently? They love a Tuesday night. Crawley, like us last year, love a Tuesday night win, but can't win on Fleetwood only won one game away on a Saturday last year. Last game of the season, got relegated. 2-1 Charlton.
Okay. Ben, first to you. Exeter versus Mansfield.
Exeter 2, Mansfield 1. Typical Exeter victory, that.
I'm going to go 1-0 Exeter. And then finally, Reading kicking off later than the rest for the buses against Wrexham. I'm going to go Reading 1, Wrexham 1.
Reading 0, Wrexham 1.
Fantastic. Right. Moving on to Saturday. So I will go first here. For Bolton versus Stockport, I'm going to go Bolton Wanderers 2, Stockport County 1.
Bolton 3, Stockport 1. Repeat.
Ben, Cambridge. While you chat through I'm going to turn the heating off. Cambridgeshire Derby. Cambridge versus Peterborough.
Cambridge 0, Peterborough 1. So yeah, I think they'll get the job. They'll get the job done in that one. Next game is Blackpool, Leyton, Orient.
Hold on, I need to do my Cambridge Peterborough one.
Oh yeah, no, you don't get one.
I'm going to go Cambridge 1, Posh 0.
Right.
Ben, me first for Blackpool Orient. I'm going to go Blackpool 1, Orient 1.
Blackpool. To be fair, Leyton Orient, after they lost the first 4 games of last season, went to Bloomfield Road on the 1st of September last year and drew 0-0 and got the first clean sheet and the first point of the season. However, I think Blackpool get the job done here. Blackpool 2, Leyton Orient 0.
Ben, first for you, Charlton versus Wigan.
Charlton 2, Wigan 0.
I think Charlton 3, Wigan 1. Huddersfield versus Crawley. Oh, I think they get a bounce. Huddersfield 2, Crawley 0.
It's going to be that scoreline as well. Huddersfield 2, Crawley 1.
The Speed Camera Derby, Ben. Lincoln versus Bristol Rovers.
I'd love it if they beat you. I'd love it if they Lincoln 1, Bristol Rovers 1. And you're going to come on in and go, if they decide they're going to win that game. And Bristol Rovers still couldn't get the 3 points.
I'm going to go Lincoln 2, Gas 1. Mansfield versus Barnsley. I'm going Mansfield 1, Barnsley 2.
Oh, you scum. Mansfield 0, Barnsley 2.
Ben, Northampton taking on Birmingham City.
Northampton 0, Birmingham 2.
I'm going to go Northampton 1, Birmingham 3. Reading versus Stevenage. I'm going Reading 2, Stevenage 1.
Reading 2, Stevenage 0.
Ben, Rotherham versus Exeter.
2-0 Rotherham.
1-0 Rotherham. For me, Shrewsbury versus Burton. I'm going Shrewsbury 0, Burton Albion 1.
Massive game. I think Shrewsbury 2, Burton 1.
Oh.
The duo win.
And then Ben, finally from you, Wycombe versus Wrexham.
2-1 Wycombe.
I'm going to go 1 each to round it
Oh.
up. Right. We've got any questions?
Yeah. 5 minutes of questions. Get them in below.
Go for it. I mean, I'm now only 5 followers away from 1,500.
I'll tell you what. Right. the last show of the season, and I've not told Jake this, he'll go along with it. Last show of the season, if we get to 17,000 subscribers by the end of the season, so we are currently, let's have a quick subscriber update, 395 subscribers away. And there's a good 8 weeks away from the season ending. So that's averagely 50 per week, 200 per month. I've gained 210 in the last 28 days. So it's on. We'll do a bonanza the last day of the season, a 2-hour live show. So more detail, 8 till 10. Mate, it's only an extra 25 minutes, what we do anyway. But there'll be more detail. So, yeah, and we'll be here with you. And we'll even do some playoff shows as well. So get subscribed down below. Who comes up from League Two and down? Well, I'll tackle League Two and you tackle Championship. I think that Bradford City will win the division. I think Wimbledon will find a way to get second. I think Walsall will get third. I think Walsall are very average, if I'm honest with you. They just had a really good play and they have a really good core about them, but I think they're slipping away like no man's land. And I think that who wins the playoffs? Vale were poor yesterday. They were very, very poor. I'll go Notts County will win the playoffs, but they might not even get in at this moment in time.
I think the bottom three of the champ currently come down. Derby, Luton, and Plymouth.
Get to spoons. Yeah, I agree with that. He's a lot more direct, very physical, very more in the air, very much like you have a bit more of an expectation and you feel like Burton are very like Fleetwood, so you'll come down with like us. It'll take a while to get used to, put it that way. You're not playing the big boys where you feel, it's a big game. There's a lot of sides like yourselves. That's what I felt this year as well. Good lad. Yeah. So Walsall actually trying to blow it. Yeah, they've been really poor, haven't they? It's mad that they could be promoted in a month's time, isn't it?
They'll be promoted before they go to Wembley to play Peterborough, I think.
Yeah. Well, I said I think they could win promotion on the Tuesday at Peterborough away.
Well,
on the 8th.
They are then. Fantastic.
And then they play Peterborough on the Sunday. Good evening, Nappers and Jake. Just finished.
No, that's not what it says.
Good lad. We'll be emotional playing games with Bradford next season.
You know why, don't you, Ben?
Sorry, no. Sorry, I forgot to say that. It'll be Bradford. I said Bradford doing the league.
You know why it'll be emotional, don't you?
Yeah, yes, I do. After defeat to Bolton, the Blues break the record. Yes. There's 24 points away, aren't they? So it's 27 away. There's still lots of points to go, isn't there? It's going to be hard, touch and go, isn't it? But 27 away from the... Look, there's 36 to play for. They need 28 points to make the record. 10 wins in 12 games. It's doable. Yeah. So, yeah, Jake, thanks for joining me, mate, today.
Thanks, mate. It's been fun. I've really enjoyed it.
It's always nice to see you on a League One lab, but it almost feels like back to work now. Do you know what I mean? It's
literally, tell me about it.
It's a bit like taking over Heartbeat, and it when you see you knew it was time for school. Now,
when you finish this and we come off the call, and the daunting realization that I have to be up at 7:30 tomorrow to get ready. I've got a couple of Viennese wells to finish off before I go to bed, just to give me that final weekend treat, and then we'll be back on the grind, mate. Can't wait.
Yeah. Well, anyway, thank you so much for watching, everyone. Thank you for all your support. Go and give Jake a follow on Twitter as well.
5 more. I need 5 more.
5 more. I'm off to bed now. I'm absolutely up this morning, 20 miles in the legs. My legs are gone. I'll be feeling it tomorrow like an old man. I'm stiffening up these days. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time, I'll see you later. It's been emotional. Again, let's see if there's a show Wednesday. There might be, but again, so nice to have a Tuesday with Fleetwood. A good one.